Going on, Robot Masters? I'm Mega Man, and today we're going to take a trip back to 1987 to the original Mega Man, see where it all began. I like to start this game against Bombman. I personally think he's probably the easiest of the 6 Robot Masters in this game. So I think there's an argument to be made for just about any of them being a starting point. I personally think Fireman and Iceman and Elecman are among the harder Robot Masters, so I don't like to start there. But in the past, I have started against Cutman and Gutsman, had success there. But for a while now, I've done the Bombman start, and it works pretty well for me. The original Mega Man is an interesting game. You have to respect it because it's where it all began. But there are a few quirks in the game that make it a little bit more frustrating to play than some of the later entries. Joe doesn't want to play with me. Come on. I would jump past them, but they tend to chase you if you jump past them, so... probably the first thing you'll notice that's pretty weird about this game if you've never played it is there's a big score counter up at the top there. This game came out in the era of arcade games, so I think it just felt pretty natural to the team at Capcom to put a big old score counter up there. You could compete against your friends with high scores and whatnot. Never really been my jam. But, you know, I'm curious if some of you may have competed high scores in your youth, or maybe even still do. Get a little nervous in that last section there. You'll notice that there were some spikes. This game's pretty notorious. You don't really get the same iframe protection that you get in later entries. So if you get knocked in the spikes by an enemy, you're just dead. You don't get an opportunity to jump back up. So don't do that. Don't get blasted. You'll also notice that these boss cages, they have enemies and ladders and weird stuff. So glad that doesn't come back in later games. This one's not too bad. You just jump down the right side, you're kind of home free. Now Bombman, he jumps around quite a bit. Kind of want to get your shots in when you can. Jump out of the way of his bombs. You know, the Mega Buster does really good damage here. That's one of the reasons why I think he's a pretty appropriate boss to start with. Okay, he's down. Good first level. Could have been a little cleaner, but you can always be a little cleaner. And take it, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so Gutsman's weak to the Hyper Bomb, so he's a natural choice for the second level here. And we'll see how it goes. Now this level is one of the shorter ones in this game, but you do want to be careful about those platforms there. I always try to make that first one. They're on a global timer, so that means that they're just kind of always going at their own rate. If you don't go too fast, they can get a little desynced. Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. There's like constant ice physics in this game, so you got to stop your run a little bit short, or you just slide off the edge like I did there. So we'll wait for this. We'll hope that the platforms aren't too messed up. They do get a little cattywampus if you don't play cleanly enough. So we're gonna hope that this works. It looks doable. Okay. So this is the last platform here. And we made it. These guys can be a little bit annoying, but the game devs were nice enough to leave this nice big energy capsule here. So don't be afraid to take a little bit of damage there. You'll be able to top off pretty easily. Guys can be a little bit annoying, but they aren't too bad. And we're down. I actually thought I shorted that jump and was going to hit those spikes. Okay. Let's see if I can get the one up here. Got it. Okay. That could be a tricky one up to get, but... Okay. Big guy trolling me a little bit. Hate that these guys are towards the end of each level. They do a billion damage, so you just want to be a little extra careful with them. They're pretty frustrating in this. They can give you a short hop or a big hop. The short hop, you can't do anything about. There's no slide in this game, so you can't tuck underneath them or anything. The big hop, underneath, but it can be a little frustrating to deal with. Okay, Gutsman, he takes a bunch of damage from this hyper bomb. You have to kind of line it up with where you think he'll be, because it takes a while to detonate, and he bounces around, so luckily he's pretty slow, so it's not the hardest thing in the world to do. His attacks are pretty easy to dodge. Just don't panic when he knocks you down, and you usually have plenty of time to jump over his projectiles, so not a bad level. A little rough at the start there. We'll get into Cutman next. Cutman, I think, is, for me, the most iconic level in this game. I think Alec Man might be a close second. But for me, when I think about Mega Man 1, I think about Cutman. I don't know why. I think it's because this song is, this level theme is a banger. To me, it's probably the best track in this whole game. So, but in general, Mega Man music's usually pretty good. So, you know, it's not saying that the other tracks are bad, because they're not. Yeah. The original Mega Man might actually have one of the weak soundtracks of the entire franchise. It's just the tracks are so classic that, you know, everyone recognizes Cutman's theme. So, admittedly, the Mega Man 2 tracks are more classic. I think those are the ones that people are usually humming. And for good reason. And a great soundtrack. Now, the levels in the original game, they're far from the best level design. In general, the level design gets better as the series goes on. With a few exceptions of bad level design. I would say probably the worst level design in any Mega Man game is an X6. And if you haven't played that, yeah, you aren't missing much. It's an incredibly frustrating experience. Especially if you're a completionist and you want to try to beat every little thing. It can really stop you from feeling like you can do anything. So, oh, that was terrible. Let's get some bullets into this guy. Okay, forget him. I'm done with that. Oh my goodness, that was the worst damage ever. Whatever, we're moving on. This is probably why this level is so iconic to me is just these incredibly frustrating octo battery rooms. I think that's what these things are called. They're pretty infuriating. So anyway, past that. Getting close to the end of the level here. A little bit of health here to try to top off. There's some cool zips you can do here. I don't actually know how to do them, so I'm not going to. I kind of like just playing through how I did as a kid. Well, I'm sure there's probably some kids out there that found those zips by accident. Ah, he didn't give me the big jump. Okay, take a little bit of health there. Should be enough health to take down Cutman. I will say one of the benefits of this kind of boss cage setup where there's enemies in here. If you're low health, if you're really worried about it, you can run back and forth and there respawn the enemies and try to get some health drops. Okay. So, Cutman, you want to be really careful with. Those blocks don't respawn, and if you die, even though I have a billion units of super arm energy there, I wouldn't have anything to pick up. Those bricks, they never respawn, no matter how many times you go into that room. Once you use them, they're gone. So just be really careful with where you're placing those shots, and he'll go down in 2 hits, and that's not too bad of a fight. So, anyway, we'll leave it here. We've got half the Robot Masters down. We'll do the other half in the next episode, and then I'll do a 3rd episode for the Wily levels. We'll get through this game, and we're gonna move through the rest of the series over time. So anyway, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw here today, consider giving a like, maybe subscribing. I put out all sorts of Mega Man content. Mega Man's my favorite game, so I really like doing this for you guys. But that's enough of that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.